50 years ago, producer Joseph Papp had the wonderful and radical idea of free Shakespeare in the park. A decade later, that vision grew to include the Public Theater on Lafayette Street. The first show he produced there was the then revolutionary musical Hair. Over the years, the public has produced such groundbreaking works as A Chorus Line and Bring Into Noise, Bring Into Funk. To celebrate, they recently held a one-night-only benefit concert entitled The Public Sings, a 50th Anniversary Celebration. Now, over the years, Broadway Beat has been there, documenting some of the wonderful productions at the Public and the Delacorte Theater in Central Park. So now, for your enjoyment, here is our look at the New York Shakespeare Festival, as only Broadway Beat can bring it to you.
Well, I just knew I was going to come out there, screw up my lyrics, and fall into the orchestra pit. I was sitting back on stage and going, I'm going to faint into the orchestra pit. I hope I don't fall on a drum and it pierces my heart or some music stand. So then I got out there, and I guess the ham or the whore inside of me took over, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Because you picked one of the hardest patter songs to do from Pirates of Penzance.
And I rewrote the lyrics, of course. And I gave myself harder lyrics than the actual current lyrics are that Gilbert and Sullivan wrote. I went, I was going like, what the hell are you talking about? I supported Cruz and Grimm and Hughes and Susan Laurie Parks a lot. What was I thinking? It was just ridiculous. And because this afternoon we had a run through, I was so terrible. So I went, okay, this is going to be truly my swan song to the American theater. I will have to do film now because my career will be over in New York. Yeah.
And yet you were perfect, and you repeated those lines over and over and over.
Oh, my God, Lord, sweet Jesus. Oh, my God, I made it through. But it was fun. It was fun.
Tell me what went through your mind, like just this whole thing being put together, the Public at 50 years old. I mean,
well, it's a great institution, and it was interesting because I had a scene. I was supposed to perform in Act 1. I was supposed to sit out front, then I was supposed to come backstage and perform, and then in Act 2 I was supposed to sit back there and watch. But there was such an incredible, generous heart and rhythm and intensity. Hello, sir. Don't leave, Daryl. Don't leave. Backstage. Okay, that was really tacky. But anyway, and that's my life. Anyway. But backstage that I just wanted to hang out with the artists, and I just stood back there, and anytime anybody would perform, they would cheer and clap, and it was really a sweet thing to be a part of.
Do you mind if I do my interview with you in the background?
You two were joined at the hip tonight, weren't you?
Adina told me today, and I was shocked to know that she learned everything from me, that I was her inspiration for Wicked.
Well, I want to know your history with the Public, because tell me, you got your equity card?
My equity card was given to me by George Wolfe doing a production of Macbeth with Angela Bassett and Alec Baldwin and Liev Schreiber, amongst many others, Jeffrey Nordling and some others, and so that was my first break. I was working as a production assistant and doing odd jobs, and George gave me my first part. So I love it, and I came back and did 12th night at the Delacorte in the park, and it's amazing.
Well, tell me what it was like being a part of this evening and actually singing on stage.
It's an honor. I mean, I'm a big musical theater geek. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I see everything, and I'm starstruck by her. And it's cool. It's cool to hang out with all these cool theater people. And you know, it's what inspired me to get in the business was doing theater and musical theater. So to just be back in it and be around these amazing talents was an honor. Plus, to stand on the same stage with Meryl Streep is something I'll never forget in my entire life.
I know you have TV shows and movies. Do you want to come back to the stage again?
Yes, please. I would love to. If they'll have me. It's a matter of finding the right time, and the right show. But I would be honored, and I'd love to do it.
It was great. It was just like a milestone for me. I've always wanted to work at the Public, and I did a play there this past December, and just to be part of their history and their community is it's a big deal for me.
Because that was such an exciting show, the one you just did at Michael John's there.
Yeah.
What was it like working on it?
It was great. It was nice not to be green and to play 3 different women, and it was kind of sexual and racy, and it was liberating.
And talk about the Saturn Returns numbers that you did tonight in the show.
Yeah, it's an Adam Gettle piece, and I actually called him today just to ask him to give me his blessing, because we haven't worked together before, and I just want to make sure I understood where it came from, and from, in his soul, and sort of what his inspiration was for writing it, and because he was out in West, I think. So yeah, we had a nice discussion, and it's a really heavy song about faith, and I just want to make sure I knew what I was singing about, because it's just such a beautiful melody on its own. So yeah, I did that, and then I got to sing with Zach and Ben Stiller and do comedy with them. That's pretty cool.
When were you first aware of the Public Theater? When you first came to New York? Do you remember what the first show you saw, or when you first went there?
I don't, sorry, but I've always known that Hair was there, and that whole experience. I've always followed that, and Chorus Line, and when we were doing Rent, Bringing the Noise was during the same time, so I was very aware of all that, how they develop shows and stick by them, and really cultivate great material.